Hi, I'm Mike Prospero with Laptop Magazine, and today we're taking a look at the Dell Latitude E6420 XFR. It's their latest fully rugged notebook, and it's designed for soldiers and paramedics and people like that who really need a system that can weather a whole bunch of abuse. So before we go diving in and dropping this, we're going to take a quick look around it. The system is made from a polycarbonate as well as metal, which makes it obviously very rugged. There's rubber bumpers on each of the corners, as well as a nice rubber handle, which is good because this thing weighs about over 6.5 pounds, which is really quite heavy. All of the other ports are also protected by these doors on the side, which have little rubber gaskets. And that also helps protect from water and dust entering. So you'll see these all around the sides of the system. There's one in the back here too, like that. You can see these big rubber bumpers, and so on this side as well. Interestingly, this system also has a serial port. It's something you don't see often on notebooks these days, but this is going to be used usually with peripherals that are older and probably still use that serial port. If we open up the system, you'll see it's also fairly rugged. And there's nice, in fact, it shows all the screws here too, which gives it that more sense of toughness, I would say. The keyboard, we really like it. It's comfortable to use, and it's also backlit. The touchpad here is a little small, but it was still smooth as well. The screen here, we'll turn on in a minute, is a direct view display, which means that you can view it easily in outdoor and bright conditions. In fact, it has when we measured it, has a lux of about 650 or so, which is very bright. And it's also, this one has an option for a touchscreen. This is a resistive touchscreen, which means you can only use one finger on it really, and so you can't do pinch to zoom and things like that. However, you can use it when you're wearing a glove, which is more suited for its application. Also, it comes with a little stylus that attaches here, and then you can use that on the screen as well. This is not a cheap notebook. It costs about $5,600, but for that you're getting really a high level of durability. But also inside this system you're getting a fair amount of performance too. It comes with an Intel Core i7 processor, 6 gigs of RAM, and a 128 gigabyte SSD. So that's pretty high specs. And it scored fairly high on our benchmarks too. Now, of course, comes the real fun part. We got to see what happens when we drop this thing. This notebook is rated to survive drops of 6 feet when it's turned off, and 3 feet when it's turned on, actually. So first, we're going to start off with a 6-foot drop. And we've measured it. I'm about 6 feet tall, so right about there, and then down it goes. Doesn't look too much worse for wear. However, these ports did pop open on the back, so maybe we'll give it another shot. You're supposed to be able to drop it up to 26 times, so one more won't hurt, or will it? Boom. All right, once again, some of these ports flew open, but I don't see any other damage on the outside of the system. So now comes the moment of truth. Let's see if it starts up. Looking good so far. This notebook is also designed to withstand dust as well as water, and also temperature extremes from -20 degrees to up to 145 degrees. So if you're ever in those conditions, and I hope you're not, this notebook should be able to take care of you there too. So let us see. Well, it started up normally and fine, so that's good. And now it's also rated, as I mentioned, you can drop it from 3 feet with the notebook on and turned and open. So from 3 feet, We're gonna let it drop, and everything seems to be working normally again. It can still move everything around. And as we go back up, should we do it again? Yeah, I think we should. Here it goes. And it's still, took a licking and it's still kicking. So if you have $5,600 to spare and you need this sort of rugged durability, then the Dell Latitude E6420 XFR is definitely a notebook you should check out.